Hello everyone, it's HiCom Accounting here. It's another day of tax essentials for business. In this video I will cover how you will pay your tax, and the key reports you should be aware of when you start up your business. How you will pay your tax. As soon as you start up your business, you need to plan for how you will pay the tax that you will owe each year when you lodge your tax return. Paying tax in your first year. In your first year of business, you can stay on top of your obligations by making tax prepayments into your tax bill account, putting money aside for your expected tax bill, voluntarily entering into installments, paying tax by installments. Once you lodge your first income tax return, and report a tax payable amount above a certain threshold, you will automatically enter the pay-as-you-go (PAYG) installment system. If you voluntarily enter into installments prior to lodgement of your first tax return, you will be able to make quarterly payments towards your tax bill. Business reporting requirement. Once you're up and running, you'll need to report your business income and other tax information. The key reports you should be aware of are payroll reporting, business activity statement, or BOS, and income tax return. Payroll reporting. Small businesses are required to lodge employee payments and superannuation reports with the ATO using single-touch payroll software. You'll need to report payments such as salaries and wages, pay-as-you-go withholding, and superannuation directly to the ATO as they happen via an online payroll solution. It's also a good idea to speak to a tax agent like us to discuss the best way to get your business ready for single-touch payroll. Business activity statements, or BOS. If you are a business registered for GST, you need to lodge a business activity statement, or BOS. When you register for an Australian business number ABN and GST, the ATO will automatically send you a BOS when it is time to lodge. Your BOS will help you report and pay your Goods and Services Tax, or GST. Pay-as-you-go, PAYG, installments. PAYG, withholding tax. And other taxes. To avoid potential charges and penalties, you must lodge and pay your BOS on time. Most businesses lodge quarterly, but how often you lodge will depend on your circumstances. Even if you have nothing to report, you must still lodge a nil statement. If you think you will have difficulty paying your BOS on time, it's important you call a registered tax or BOS agent like us to manage the lodgement on your behalf. Income tax return. In Australia, the financial year for tax purposes runs from the 1st July to 30th of June. Businesses are required to lodge an income tax return for this period. What you need to report, and how you lodge your annual tax return for your business, depends on your type of business entity. If you operate your business as a sole trader, you must lodge a tax return even if your income is below the tax-free threshold. This includes tax return for individuals including the supplementary section, business and professional items schedule for individuals. You don't have to work out the amount of tax you're liable to pay. The ATO will do this for you when you lodge and issue an assessment showing either the amount of tax owing to the ATO or your refund. If you lodge yourself via My Tax, your tax return is due by 31st of October. If you lodge through a registered tax agent like us, we will help you lodge it right on time and also maximize the tax return you may get. If you operate your business as a partnership, the partnership lodges a partnership tax return that reports the partnership's net income. As an individual partner, you report on your individual tax return, which includes your share of any partnership net income or loss, any other assessable income, such as salary and wages, dividends and rental income. The partnership doesn't pay income tax on the income it earns. Instead, you and each of the partners pay tax on the share of net partnership income you receive. It's recommended to use a registered tax agent like us to help you get it right at tax time. If you operate your business as a company, you need to lodge a company tax return. The company reports its taxable income, tax offsets and credits, PAYG installments, and the amount of tax it is liable to pay on that income or the amount that is refundable. The company's income is separate from your personal income. If you lodge the company tax return yourself, you need to check the due date. Generally, the lodgement and payment date for small companies is 28th of February. If you have any prior year returns outstanding, the due date will be 31st of October. You can speak to a registered tax agent like us. We'll tell you when to lodge the tax return depending on your unique business circumstance. If you operate your business through a trust, the trustee lodges a trust tax return. Each trust beneficiary lodges their own tax return, such as a company or individual tax return. If you are the beneficiary of a trust, you report on your tax return, which includes any income you receive from the trust, any other assessable income such as dividends, rental income, salary and wages. Paying tax and reporting to the ATO is important and strictly required for business in Australia. To avoid potential charges and penalties, you must pay and report on time. If you think you will have difficulty in managing them, it is important you use a registered tax agent like us to avoid penalties. We take the burden off your shoulders and help you focus on what really matters to get your business growing.